Hi class, this is Dr. Karsten, and today I am going over the math POD from May 5th. So in this POD, in this problem of the day, we are adding two fractions, 2/3 and 3/4. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check, and I see that my denominators are not the same. Remember, when we are adding or subtracting fractions, we do need those denominators to be the same. So I need to convert these denominators to make them match. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look and I'm going to check, are these related denominators? Can I take 3 and turn it into 4 or vice versa? And from looking at it, I can see that I cannot do that. So what I'm going to have to do is actually change both of these or convert both of these denominators into a new one. And in this case, that new one is going to be 12ths. And the way that we do that is we take one fraction and we multiply it by the denominator of the other fraction, or the other fraction's denominator. I'm going to do that for both of these. So let's start with 2/3. So I'm going to take 2/3, and we always start by showing what we're starting with, the fraction we started with. And again, we're going to convert it into an equivalent fraction. We're going to decompose it. So I have 2/3, and we're going to do that by multiplying it by the other fraction's denominator. So we're taking this fraction, we're multiplying it by the other fraction's denominator, which in this case is 4. So I'm going to write 4 here, and then whatever I write in the denominator, I need to write in the numerator, because this way I'm just multiplying by 1. Why is that? Because 4/4 is equal to 1. When my numerator and denominator match, it means I have 1. And when you multiply by 1, you're not changing the value of your fraction. You're just decomposing it into smaller pieces. Okay, so 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12, and now I know that 2/3 and 8/12 are equivalent fractions. Let's do the same thing with 3/4. So I'm going to start with 3/4. I'm going to show what I started with. I'm going to multiply it so I can decompose it. What am I going to multiply 3/4 by? By the other fraction's denominator, which in this case is thirds, or 3. Whatever I do in the denominator, I do in the numerator, and now we can just multiply straight across. 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 3 is 12. So now I have equivalent fractions for both 2/3 and for 3/4. And now I can add them, because remember, for adding and subtracting, we need to have the same denominator. So let me write that for us. So we are adding 8/12 plus 9/12. Now when we add, our denominator stays the same. We're just saying we have 8 of this sized pieces, and we're going to add 9 of the same sized pieces to it. So when we do that, we have 8 plus 9 is 17, and what size pieces? They're 12ths. And so this is going to be our answer. But wait, hang on a second. We have a fraction greater than 1. Should we leave it as a fraction greater than 1? And remember, a fraction greater than 1 just means my numerator is larger than my denominator. We definitely should not. So what we want to do is we want to pull out groups of 12/12. Remember, 12/12 is just equal to 1. So we want to pull out all the ones, all the wholes out of this. So I can take out one group of 12/12. If I take out another one, that would be 24/12. That's going to be too big. It's way bigger than 17. So instead what we do is we say that we have 17 pieces that are this size. 12 of them are here. That means I can put 5 of them over here. And what size are those pieces? They're 12ths. 12 and 5 is 17, so we did this correctly. Now I can take that 12 and I can just write it as one whole, and then I still have my 5/12. And so here is my answer, 1 and 5/12. All right, I will see you back in our Google Classroom.